Welcome, welcome, one and all. You heard it here. ... Keyword right here coming up eventually.
Boom.
It's been a minute since
I
we
don't think
recorded.
have we done one in your new place?
No, I don't
Yeah.
know. Actually, did we do one? I feel like we did one,
Maybe.
like
I
in
know we talked to
September.
Miss Marvel,
That
and you
would have
might
been
have
here.
been there. Yeah.
That would have been here. Yeah, we talked to Marvel. So yeah, we did one here. Now I have a Spider-Man pillow back
Yeah,
there
that's
for anyone
new.
watching on the YouTube video. My puppies aren't in here, but they might come in fighting. Who knows?
Hell yeah. That's what they do.
Yeah, from time to time, if I'm ignoring them, they eventually escalate into like actually chasing each other and biting each other. Like play just escalates into roughhousing,
Yeah.
and then and then the bigger one gets scared, and the smaller one's like, yeah, that's right, and then they kind of reset. All right,
Oh,
so what do we want to do first? What do we want to talk about first?
I don't know. Overwatch will be quick. Fuck Overwatch 2.
I like Overwatch too.
I like the launch, and now I hate it. I think it's fucking stupid. I haven't played since Halloween started.
I was
Honestly,
playing earlier today.
I don't even think I have enough time to get Mythic skin now. Maybe I do. Probably not. Um, so I don't. I think I might just be done unless they change something. Like I hate the business model that they're going for, and I'm not gonna support it. I'm not gonna buy the fucking battle pass. Fuck the game. Fuck the shit. I hate everything.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds like you. I like it. I still enjoy it. I mean, I don't. It's just Overwatch 1 with the new characters, I think, and like
Yeah,
redesigned characters. Like it's not actually 2.
but that's the
So
thing. Also, is like in Overwatch 1, I only played during events. Now there's nothing cool about the events to get the skin, so it's like,
yeah, I think that. So I mean, the comparison I always make because I don't really play Fortnite is Apex. I think Apex does it so much better.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you have to spend extra money a little bit to get like some of these event skins, but you'll get some guaranteed through just playing the game. Like you'll get some of
you're
the
saying in
like special
Overwatch?
event loot box things, like the what?
You're saying in Overwatch? Or you're saying
No,
what
if it
Overwatch should do?
That's what Overwatch
Oh,
should do.
yeah,
They
yeah.
should like mimic like Apex for events. Like if they don't want to go old school, like you get like a bunch of skins just naturally, and then there's a few cool ones locked maybe behind like some paywall, and you just get none, and all the cool skins in the game are locked behind a paywall.
Yeah.
They should have like they should have an Apex like system where during the events they're like maybe like specialized like a roulette. They don't do loot boxes anymore, so they would do like a roulette or something, and you get like 5 or so spins, and you're guaranteed to get at least one skin, like at a pity timer. So you get like at least 1 or 2 skins from the event, and you might get like 1 or 2 other things like free.
Yeah.
And then for more things, you just pay more money. Like that's fine.
I'd be fine with that.
But
I'd probably come back to the
yeah,
game. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. There's like a couple cool skins in the battle pass, not enough for me to want to play. All the cool skins in the game are pretty much event skins, except
yeah.
Mythic now. But it's like,
Mythic is interesting. I mean, Genji, it's funny that the first one was Genji, the first character they nerfed in Overwatch 2, at like one of the first 4 or 5 or whatever, Genji.
yeah,
So,
no
so
one's using him now.
yeah. So now next season it'll probably be some other character that everyone thinks is over May or something, and then they'll nerf the shit out of her right in the middle
Yeah.
of the season.
The
Like,
only thing that could also bring me back is if the Mythic is just someone I enjoy. I mean, I'll probably go back to
Zenyatta,
try, yeah, if it's Zenyatta, if it's,
Kiriko.
um, oh yeah, Kiriko I would fucking come back for. But it's just like, I don't know. I like grinding a battle pass, but not enough to like, I don't know. I feel like they need to see that no one's playing. And it's like how people say your vote doesn't matter, but like your vote does matter. It's like my standstill of not playing this game matters. At least I like to think it
Yeah.
does.
I don't know what kind of stat. I would love to see the stats of like how much money people have spent in the game since it launched to get those skins.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw anyone in my games that I've played with any of those like skins that cost a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, so it's really just like streamers are buying all the skins because of course they are, because
Yeah.
they're streaming the game. They might have gotten them just for free
Yeah.
because they're content creators. No one really knows what backdoor deals are going on for the big time streamers, right? And they're like under NDAs, not even to say it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So So like those are the only people I see. Like really like super high tier people who are literally spending their lives playing the game. Yeah, I get it. Like I understand liking a game enough to spend money on it when it's like a free to play game, but like yeah, they're the prices are one too high, and you don't get
Yeah,
enough like normal stuff naturally. Like you don't get enough freebies except for that one Reaper skin because they had such a terrible
yeah,
launch,
and
which
like
that was
that's
probably
not
gonna be
gonna
another
happen.
like 2,900 coin
Yeah,
skin.
the skins are literally either as expensive, a little bit cheaper, or a little bit higher than the battle pass, where you get 5 skins semi naturally. Um,
And you get the mythic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like you get one skin. I think a spray. No one cares about a spray. You get maybe an emo, maybe something
Maybe a
else.
highlight intro. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you get like one of the cool things of the two, like a highlight intro or like an emote, which some people might want to show off. But yeah, and then they always come with like a fucking weapon charm, which I never really even equip. Like,
I just wish that
I
there
don't
was
care about the weapon charms.
equipped to all heroes. That needs to be a button. I'd equip them
Yeah,
then.
there's some quality of life improvements they can make. Overall, though, I mean, if you had fun with Overwatch 1, you're gonna have fun with Overwatch 2. If you were frustrated with Overwatch 1, it's probably a little bit of a refresher to have like 5 people instead of the 6, only one tank, but tanks are like I think I heard like Seagull say this. He's like, when you're a tank, you're gonna have the highest stats like across the board.
Yeah,
Like if you're
it's crazy.
like for example, if you're Roadhog won't do much mitigation, but Roadhog will be like on par with the healers for healing
Mhm.
with his self heal. If you're any other tank, you're gonna out DPS the DPS.
Yeah.
Like you might do collectively as much damage as the two individual DPS did.
Yeah.
So Seagull was like, "Well, we can't really use tanks as a comparison to anything because they're just Godzilla right now. They walk
Yeah.
into a room and just decimate everyone. Every tank is like that. Even the ones that aren't that great are still the ones that are doing just like absolute bonkers damage.
Mhm.
You know, so I think they need to like work on tweaking a little bit the system. And I mean, it's so hard to tell right now if some of these design choices were like geared a little bit more toward the PvE, which we're not getting until like at the end of next year.
That's the other
So,
thing, yeah.
which is
It's
when
like that was
Overwatch
the
2
whole
really
yeah.
launches.
It's like that was the whole thing. PvE's coming. Launch with it. Delay the game.
Yeah, they should have just delayed it. I mean, Overwatch 1, there was no reason. The only thing is they were running out of ideas for Overwatch 1 that they didn't want to. It was like obviously, if they kept going with Overwatch 1, all they were going to do for skins was recolors of old
Yeah.
skins. They already did that like the last 2 events at the end of Overwatch 1. It
Yeah.
was just recolors of existing skins. Like, who cares? So I guess not to piss people off and like seem money grubbing that way, they were like, all right, we'll release this unfinished game,
Yeah.
and then we'll be even more money grubbing by only giving you skins through these new coins that you can't possibly have any of, and they're going to cost like obscene amounts of money.
Yeah.
And in the shop, you can't even buy just the skin by itself. I don't even think you can do that if you go into the character selection screen.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know if you
sometimes it
can
just
buy
says
the
like
event one from the
available in
shop.
shop, I think.
Yeah, so you can't even use the coins. So you can't even get a discount just to get the skin. You have to buy the 2,900 coin bundle, which
Yeah.
is like what, like $50 or something. I don't even know. Like it's a ton of money.
And yeah, it's not like
So
I don't know. It's not like someone was. I was streaming the other day. I think I told you about this, and someone was like, "Why are you playing Overwatch 2? It sucks." Blah 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 blah. Play Splatoon. I like the game. I just don't like what like the reason
the
I like
business
the game
model.
was because of the skins mainly. I mean, I like the gameplay too, but like I like the game because I like collecting shit, and now I can't collect shit anymore. It's like gotcha games almost, but not really. It used to be almost because like loot boxes, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I like the randomness of a loot box. So like
Yeah,
I do miss loot boxes. But like for the game by itself, I mean the thing is for me, I had every skin from Overwatch 1 basically, except for
yeah.
like
So now it's
6.
like your shit's gonna be like you used to be like 98 out of 100. Now you're gonna be like 98 out of 150 collected shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing I do like they did if you had legacy coins is you can unlock all of like the like natural stuff for the new characters.
Yeah,
So like as new characters come out, I'll be able to buy like the normal legendary skins that you would normally get in loot boxes. I don't know how else you're supposed to get them, by the way. Oh yeah, actually the other way you get them is, and this is like one of the things that I think like is very sneaky of them. When you go to buy one of those things,
hmm,
it will ask you which kind of coin you want to use. The new one, which is exclusively how you buy stuff in the shop, or the old legacy coins, which you might have like for me, for example, like over 50,000 of or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you the choice. It doesn't just default to the one like in the actual interface, it shows you legacy coins. And when you're choosing between the two, they're the same price. So if it's
Um,
700 legacy coins, it's 700 real
that's
new
crazy.
coins, which based on the valuation that people did of like how they value the two coins, it's like twice as expensive to use the new coins
Yeah.
than using the old coins. So like they're kind of rewarding you for being like such a fan of Overwatch 1, I guess, that you bought so many loot boxes like me, like an idiot, that you got so many extra like coins from the duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a small reward there, but like it's really like just brutally punishing to anyone who's new to Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Like the amount of money you'd have to spend to buy any of the existing stuff that was from Overwatch 1 that you thought was cool. Like if you pick up the game later, like let's say like you're a 12 and you never played Overwatch 1 or something, like your parents didn't let you play like shooter games on online, like they were really strict or something like that. Like well now it's gonna hurt them more because now you're gonna be asking for this stuff and they're gonna be spending a ton more money. So
Yup.
maybe Blizzard just really, really hates parents of 12 current 12 year olds with strict
Or yeah,
parents.
strict parents just suck. That's the other that takeaway.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Um,
think overall the game is still
yeah,
fun.
the
But
game
yeah, no,
is the same.
their business model and quality of life, some of the quality of life stuff really needs to improve.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not playing, leaning towards wanting to play again, but just I'm sticking strong.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess speaking of games that shouldn't have been released, Pokemon. Fucking,
I haven't played it,
he
but yeah,
hasn't
I've
played
seen
it,
a lot
but
of it.
yeah, it's here's what I like to say about Pokemon. It's a great Pokemon experience. Awful graphics and awful frame rate. But the problem is that the Pokemon, like, I have friends who are like, this is a good game. And then they yell at me, like actually get mad at me when I say it is a bad game. It is objectively a bad game. I don't care what you do. It's a cool concept and it's a fun Pokemon experience, probably one of the funnest Pokemon experience, but the code of the game is bad.
Yeah.
And everyone's shitting on me because I say it's a bad game. It's a bad game.
Everyone's
It's a
saying
fun game.
that's funny though. Everyone's saying it's a bad. Well,
Yeah.
maybe they're not saying bad game, but like I mean,
It's probably just
like
how I'm
I
wording bad game. I'm saying like bad game at its
there's
core, but fun mechanics in the game.
yeah, like you're like overall picture bad.
Yeah.
Like overall like enjoyability like high, it's that kind of thing. But I think I said it to you, like obviously gameplay is more important than like graphics and if there's like a bug here and there, but there's a limit. Like
Yeah.
there's a bar that you have to surpass and the game very clearly did not surpass
If
that
you have to
when it
reset
came
your
to these
game
things.
because there's such a bad memory leak that you need to reset it so your frame rate goes back to like 30, 25 even at the standard, you have a bad game. Like I'd probably give it a
You have to
6 out of
hard
10.
reset it at all ever.
Yeah.
There's a problem that
I'd
needs
probably give it
to
like a
be addressed.
6 just based on outweighing the pros, maybe like a 7 just outweighing the bad graphics and gameplay or frame rate to gameplay. I have
What do you
friends
think
who are
about
like, this
the
is a 10 out of 10. It's like you
nah,
are
that's
actually
impossible.
brain dead.
That's fanboy levels to an extreme.
Yeah,
I know people like that. It's either Pokemon fanboys or Nintendo fanboys. You know, they're like these companies can just do no wrong.
yeah,
You know, I mean, we fanboy over certain things ourselves
that's
also.
true.
Like we'll like forgive a lot of stuff, but
I love
like I mean, you
Pokemon.
have to have a realistic. You have to be able to look at something realistically and through a fanboy lens. Like I can do that. Like personally, I can do that. I
Yeah.
can be like, Jack and Daxter is the best game of all time, hands down. Even to this day, it's the best game or whatever. But like, I can look at it compared to another game and be like, well, actually, like it's
See,
inferior in a ton of different ways.
I've been struggling with that recently with Jack and Daxter and Kingdom Hearts being my top two, and then we'll get into it later playing God of War Ragnarok. I'm like, this is incredible. This is changing my life.
Yeah. Well, then now you're comparing like a character itself and like a whole game series to like
Yeah.
this like individual like masterpiece that's coming out. Like, would Naughty Dog do like a new Jack and Daxter game? If they did it, would it be at that level? Probably.
Yeah.
So that's another way that you got to like look at like all these like old like nostalgia like brands and things like that. Like, there's just a ton of different arguments that can be made, and it's like opinion based, and there's no real right or wrong. But yeah, when we'll talk about God of War after we're done on Pokemon. But I also wanted to ask you like what you think. I haven't seen very many of the new Pokemon. So I was wondering what
Um,
you thought about like the overall designs
I
and
mean,
things like
there's like
that.
a flamingo literally as a Pokemon, and it's just called Flamigo. That's kind of lazy. Um,
Yeah.
there, but
Well,
like,
every generation they have like a lazy one or two.
yeah,
Ever since like the first three, let's discounting the first three, where like Pokemon was like brand new for the whole world
yeah.
basically, and it was like a sensation globally.
I
They've
mean,
always had a couple of lazy ones. I mean, they had a keychain Pokemon
yeah,
that was just called
Klefki.
like key, yeah, Klefki, yeah, all right, that like it was a fairy
hmm
because what else? What other type would they give it or something? You know, they always sneak in a little bit of lazy just to round out the Pokedex for sure.
Yeah. But like, I mean, overall, the designs are cool. I like the new Pikachu equivalent, but still, like, I mean, its evolution is he just stands on his back two legs instead of four legs.
Oh, this
Um,
is there's a three branch evolution, right?
yeah, it's
It's not
Palmy,
branch, but
Palmo,
it's
and then
three
Palmot,
level.
I think, or something like that. It's cool
Yeah,
though. When he evolves the second time, he gets a move that's just a revive. It only has one PP, but you can just revive anything with it, which is cool.
revive
Um,
anything except itself. Like it doesn't do self res
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe if
Um,
it's dead or something, I don't know. Like if
yeah, it
it's
hasn't
not in
died
battle,
yet.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's not in battle, yeah.
Um, The starters are
Uh,
cool. Don't really like how they for Legends Arceus, the final starters were Fire Ghost, Grass, Fighting, Water Dark. For this one, it's Fire Ghost, Grass Dark, Water Fighting. So fire's the same and they just flipped the subtypes of water and grass, which is kind of lazy. I don't know if it was a coincidence if this was already in the works or what, but
if it was even the same team,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, people have like if you look at like the stats, like fire, dark, and firefighting and stuff is just like it's like for starters, it's just always one of the more common
Yeah.
dual pairings. I mean, I was glad that like 2 generations ago where they introduced Ghost finally into like one of the starters.
Yeah.
It was the owl. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Like finally. I mean, they really just need to branch out and just do it. I mean, just make like a starter that ends up becoming a dragon type.
That'd be
Like
sick.
go back to like a Charizard style. I mean, everyone was like in the original fucking games. Like, how could you not have Charizard as a dragon? It's literally a dragon. It is literally a dragon. It looks just like every other dragon type Pokemon that they've ever created. And then it required a mega evolution to find one of the two
Yeah.
only to finally give it a dragon type. Like, I mean, come on, be a little
Um
bit realistic when you update these games. But like, just go back to that style or something. Like,
yeah.
you can easily. We're like 25 years into this IP existing. You can go back a little bit. You can go back to the roots and be like, oh, you know what? Let's do like a water version of Charizard. Let's just do one
Yeah.
like that or something and make it a water dragon.
Yeah,
You
that'd
know,
be sick.
and like you can do it with grass. You can do it with anything. No one knows the legends of Japan outside of Japan. People across the globe will just eat it up. Oh,
Yeah.
this thing exists somewhere like in Mount Fuji or something. The hell yeah, let's do it. Like,
Um, but yeah, I mean, pros, so first pro, you can like it's like almost like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. It's cool. Like you have three different main stories going on. You can do just your standard gyms. There's 8 gyms. You can do the Titans, which is just like bigger Pokemon that evolve your motorcycle. So like what you do one, you can dash. You can do one, you can swim. Um, and then you can do Team Starfall's quest, which I haven't started yet. But like, it's cool that you that's all fine and dandy. But then the problem with the choose your own adventure is stuff doesn't scale. So they're like, you can go to any gym you want. You can leave from the East Gate or the West Gate, but if you go to that gym, they're level 50.
yeah,
It's like make it so I can go to that gym, they're level 10. When I have one gym, the second gym I takes on becomes this level. When I beat this
it's like
gym, yeah, yeah,
the illusion of open world. Then really,
yeah,
kind of. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, if the, whenever any Nintendo company does open world, which I know this Pokemon's supposed to be open world, it's always without a doubt 100% going to be compared to Breath of the Wild,
yeah,
which is a fantastic iteration of open world. All the stuff immediately around you, and it just goes out like a circle.
yeah,
All the stuff immediately around you, one tier, right? And then as you go further out, and you could just run straight out to one of the shrines out in the middle of the fucking ocean or something if you could manage to get there without dying.
yeah,
And then it's one of your like one of these like what they call it like the mega super um robot that you fight. And if you have no weapons, that all your weapons are like strength 3, it's gonna wreck you.
yeah,
You know, like you could do that if you wanted to, but if you just follow the game's like outward radius naturally, you're going to like power yourself up and scale correctly and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like
But
You
then
just
that's
need
the
to
other
look at
thing.
that as a core design.
In this game, it's like, well, I was using like a half guide where it was like just telling me the levels of everything. And it's like if you follow the levels of the game, it's like you leave through the west gate first. Then you take on a gym there. You go to the east gate. You take on a titan. You take on a another gym leader. Then you go back to the east gate. Like it's so much back and forth, and the game doesn't tell you. So I feel like if I didn't have it, I would just be wanderously like dying every 2 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they want you to kind of like experience it that way and like I don't know. Maybe it's like let's imagine Pokemon were real for a second, right? I guess like you're like a new 11-year-old that gets sent out in the world on his own because that is the age of manhood in the Pokemon universe.
Hmm.
And sometimes it freezes you in time there too, and then you just never age forever.
Shouts out Ash.
Uh, yeah.
Ages one.
And then so and then so in a realistic world, it's possible that you would just go to like you would just wander in an area and you would just get totally butthurt, like just absolutely destroyed, and then you would learn like I got to come back here much later. Maybe they're
Yeah.
like trying to make you naturally understand that, but as a gamer, that's so dumb because
Yeah.
it's just a waste of your time. Like maybe when we go full dive technology, give me a game like that where I feel like I'm actually living the experience. But if you're gonna let me walk into somewhere where I'm just gonna fight something and then be like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna die here, it's
Yeah.
like faster for me to just restart my game than it is to just die and go and faint and go back and lose a little bit of money and stuff. Like, come on, there should be like recommended signs or something like that, like levels on maybe on the map, like the way
Yeah.
the MMOs do it, where it's
Mhm.
like this zone level 55 to 58 or something,
Yeah.
right? Like have that like maybe it's somewhere in the gym you can read it, maybe it's like in on the world map or something.
And maybe it is there, I just haven't seen it for the gyms, but yeah, for the map,
Well,
it's
it
not
should be
really there.
if it's the first time they're implementing a system like this, it should be extremely obvious though.
Yeah.
So that's a gameplay issue from their design team right there. Like
Yeah.
if there's even a chance that you can miss like a big sign or like some indication that the area you're about to go to is something that you just absolutely can't handle.
Mhm.
And the first time they ever did this, then it's a mistake on their part. Maybe if like the next game is exactly like it and people are now prepared, like, oh, I need to make sure that I'm ready to go to a certain area. I need to find out. I need to look at like some kind of NPC dialogue to let me know like if I'm ready for this area or not. I mean, even in like Tales of Arise, for example, like when you see like a monster in the overworld and you walk up to it, the NPCs are like either like, oh, I think we can handle this, or they're like, oh, we gotta do this later.
Yeah.
They just tell you don't start the fight.
No, but
Like they
then
let you know
but
like
then, yeah, you
naturally
have
you would
other
not be able to beat
people
it.
who don't even have this complaint. They're like, "Oh, I like the fact that I can go catch a level 50 Dratini, right when the game starts." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, but not everyone plays like that. I wanna progress just normally, and I'll get to the Dratini when I get to the Dratini." Like, I'm sure speedruns for this game are gonna be crazy, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a speedrun will just be someone buys like some kind of like like some kind of like guaranteed catch ball, like one of the subtypes like
yeah.
dive ball or nest ball or whatever, and just goes gets something awesome right away and just starts powering through the lower level gyms with it and then like
Yeah.
evolves it and all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm
But
sure that's
no,
gonna be the method.
cons for sure. First of all, the scaling. Second, there's this big town you go into, and even the smaller towns that you go into. There's so many buildings, and in all the old Pokemon games, you could go in, you could talk to people. Would I skip it? Yeah, probably. But I had the option to go in, talk to people, maybe make a trade. Every building's locked in this game. There's like two
Mm.
buildings you can go into, and the
Other
build.
than gyms,
Yeah,
other than gyms,
the
yeah,
other buildings are like it's a menu. You walk in and a buy menu pops up like it's Final Fantasy 8 on the PS1. It's like, what are we
yeah.
doing here? It's 2022.
And it takes like 5 or 10 seconds for your character's avatar to load when it's a clothing shop and stuff too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's insane.
And then the other big con is I miss gyms. I think Sword and Shield did this too. I don't remember because I never beat it. I just there's this fucking stupid ass gym challenge and I hate it. I went to the first gym and they're like, oh, if you want to beat the gym leader, you got to roll this olive across town. And it was so fucking stupid because there's these gates. They clearly want you to go into this maze. The olive just bounces past the gates and you're done in 3 seconds. And then you
Mm,
could take on the gym. There's no trainers, there's nothing for me to train off of it. You're just done.
mm. Yeah, I like original iteration. I'm trying to remember for Sword and Shield. I think there were some things where like the gym would be locked because like the gym leader was taking care of a natural disaster or something, which is fine.
Mhm.
They do that in the anime all the time. People
Yeah.
like kind of like it. But I think that the gym still had trainers to fight though. It wasn't like you just walked in and it was only the gym leader.
Oh,
So that
okay.
must be new this generation.
Yeah.
Probably because of the open world stuff. I mean, look, at the end of the day, let's face it, they rushed this game out.
Oh yeah.
There's no way that they didn't. So maybe there were a lot of ideas on the table where they were like, we got to cut this because we don't have time. We got to cut that because we don't have time. Oh, does the game have a data leak? Tough shit. Like we got to ship it out. Um, so there's definitely, I'm sure that there are a bunch of people at Game Freak and whoever else helped them design it, where they're just like sitting back and they're like, yeah, that's right, management. We told you. Yeah, that's right. Nintendo of Japan. We said we gotta delay this like another 6 months or something. And if they were trying to rush it out for holiday, you could release you could release a Pokemon game during the biggest natural disaster and on a meteor could come and wipe out half the population. You release a Pokemon game, the other half of that population is buying the goddamn Pokemon game.
Yeah.
You don't need to release it in a holiday window. Like there's no kid on earth right now that is actually like they have to wait 100% until a holiday to get a Pokemon game. Like
Yeah.
they're going to get that damn game. It doesn't matter when you release it.
Yeah. Like it
It's better
wasn't.
to release it with no competition, to be honest, because now you're competing with like all these other games, like all the people that might have nostalgia, like me and you, like where we're older and we still like Pokemon. We have God of War to play. We have like for me, for example, World of Warcraft's new expansion comes out in 2 days. Like Overwatch 2 released like 2 months ago and stuff. It's another game that takes like a huge amount of time because of battle passes and things like that. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, like which is like a lot of people consider like the best. I at least do the best Call of Duty in like the entire franchise's history that they just remade and redesigned and stuff. You have a ton of competition, so there are going to be people like me who are waiting on Pokemon
Yeah.
until
And then
maybe
there's
like
people like my
500 years from now.
fucking
There's a sale.
diehard friends who are like, "How the fuck have you not beat the main story?" I did 4 out of 18 of the shit so far, like of all the Team Starfall and all that bullshit. I'm on 4 out of 18 things available, and everyone's like, "I beat the main story. I can't trade with you because I need some of your exclusives." Motherfucker, I'm playing God of War, a 10 out of 10 game, and I'm not gonna play Pokemon, a 6 out of 10 game.
Yeah, and I mean also. We also play games like exclusively during stream. If we aren't
Yeah.
only streaming them, then yeah, you probably would have beaten it by now just
Oh
from
yeah.
sitting in your bed and playing
Yeah.
it while you watch anime or something.
That's true.
So like there's also that factor for us. But I mean, yeah, like for people who have limited time in general, not necessarily just because you're only gonna play when you stream, like you have to make decisions. And when you have God of War and you're a Sony fan and you like the first one, like how is any game gonna surpass that? Oh, there's my dog in the
Yep.
background for anyone watching the YouTube video. She's ready. There you go. You're she's gonna sleep there, so you're gonna see her the rest
Oh
of this
yeah.
episode. But yeah, no. I've heard the complaints. I've seen the videos of like some of these bugs like falling through the floor and you just
But
fall
also,
forever.
I
Like
will say, Twitter makes it seem much worse than it is. It is bad. None of those glitches have ever happened to me.
yeah, it's not gonna be 100% like 100% of people. Apparently 100% of people do have the memory leak issue though.
I've never needed to relaunch my game. I think I've played it 3 times for probably 3 to 4 hours each time. Never had to restart it, but I know that it exists.
Oh, really? Everyone else I know that's playing it has had to restart it. Even like a couple of my friends that have it. And then I saw our friend TH playing it the other day, and I was asking him about it, and he was like, "It's so annoying that I have to reset my game every time I walk into a city."
Oh really?
So he has the issue where it goes down to like 6 frames a second
Yeah,
in
it's
a city, and
crazy.
he has to restart or it's just unplayable. So like I'm surprised you haven't faced that because from what I like everything else, like yeah, falling through the floor, like Pokemon having weird glitches where they're like not visible or something like that, them spawning right beneath your feet when you're not ready to battle and stuff like that. That's only like obviously it's the vocal minority where like bad things happen to someone, they're gonna be like, I gotta post this.
Yeah,
You know? No one's just like posting like an entire 20, 40 hour run of a game that never had any issues.
yeah,
But the memory leak one seems to be the biggest one, and you're the first person I've heard who's played the game who has not had to restart the game. But
hell
you
yeah,
also haven't played it to the same
yeah,
level, like extent as them, like hours wise and stuff like that. So maybe you will run into that issue. Who knows?
yeah. I'll
And
report
it's so
back.
weird that happens in cities because cities are apparently dead,
Yeah, well,
right? Like
they're
there's
dead
like
because everyone's on the fucking outside. No one's in their homes. Everyone locked
yeah.
themselves out. Like, what are you doing? I hate it. Anyway,
Yeah.
God of War, incredible. Go from the worst to the best.
Transition now. Slide right
Yeah,
as the
there you
Star
go.
Wars would do. Uh Yeah, God of War. So we're both playing that. You're ahead of me. You're like way ahead of me. I'm playing on no mercy difficulty,
Listen,
which
I'm very
is
surprised you did that.
crushing enough. Well, my friend Fisher Phoenix did it, and he was like, "You got to play it on this difficulty or else." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't give you bragging rights over me at all." So I
There you
had to
go.
play it on that difficulty. It's
Um,
actually, I mean, I would definitely be a lot further in the game if I was not playing on no mercy difficulty.
yeah.
I die in random encounters like way more often than I would at like even close in
Yeah, I'm
if I
surprised.
was
I'm
unbalanced.
interested to see when you get to the berserker fights, how long those take. If you just wait, because you might just wait till post game and call it a day for all of them.
I mean, when I if I get the ability to do some of them, I'll at least try them out to see what they're like. Like I've done the Draugr holes, and I
Yeah,
almost gave up on that one. That first one that I
in
ran
the
into,
watchtower, that also
yeah,
on normal difficulty kicked my ass.
I almost gave up on that. I basically first off, I think I was like 13 attempts in, and I was like, all right, I have 3 more attempts left in me, and then the third, not I'm not even shitting you. The third attempt after I said that, which I was 100% gonna be done after that, that's when I beat it.
Dang.
Like I had to use the resurrection stone, I had to use Spartan rage mode. Like I absolutely, those things are absolutely crushing. And they
Um,
change slightly enough that like you don't know exactly what to expect, and all of a sudden
yeah.
like each one there's like this Draugr has like one extra attack or ability that like great, now I'm gonna have to lose the first one. It's like oh god, what was the there's like I forget what game or like whatever system this is, where it's like you go in blind to something and then you just get totally wrecked, but you need to experience that the first time so that you know how to build like your
Oh,
team. Like let's say
roguelike.
it's Pokemon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe a roguelike, but there was a specific example that like I've done
Oh,
where like you have to go into the fight blind, and then you go in and you fight stuff, and then you find out like what the types of this like what type advantage you need to bring in and stuff like that. So you basically have to go in and lose unless you're extremely lucky
yeah,
and your like natural build stuff works. But then you have to go in, see what's up, lose, and then go out and fight it for real. That's how it feels like with some of these fights.
yeah.
When I face a new enemy for the first time, I basically have to die to them on no mercy difficulty. Like the light elves, the
Mm-hmm.
warriors especially. I didn't know what they were doing to me the first 3 times I was doing that fight.
Yeah, if
I
they didn't
like
have
they were
those,
launching light beams at me. They were closing the distance, not like super quickly on me. And then all of a sudden, like other waves of enemies would come in and just totally kick my ass from the side.
if the difficulty, I don't know if it does this. If it doesn't, it should, just to make it even harder. The final difficulty should turn off all the rings, because I would be so lost without that shit.
I seriously doubt they do that. But yeah, that would be that would be just criminal. Like
Yeah,
just like oh crushing. I don't even know what kind of adjective I'm trying to use. Like if I don't see those blue circles
yeah.
to
I don't.
interrupt the shield bash thing, I would never use it.
Yeah.
Not intentionally. I have it mapped to my swipe left on my touchpad, so when I go to the map and when I unclick from the map, I always shield bash.
Why is it? That's weird. You click your touchpad to do that, or you swipe your touchpad to do that?
You can set it up. It's naturally there's nothing set to the touchpad, but I wanted to be able to toggle my HUD, so I did swipe up for HUD,
Oh.
and I wanted my quick turn back, like the down on the D-pad, which used to be quick turn for the
Mm-hmm.
first game. That doesn't exist on the down. Like I didn't try and change those ones. So if you swipe down on the touchpad, you can do, or you can set any direction
Oh.
to do it. So I found an annoying thing with it though. One of them is you can do, I think it's called navigation assist, and
Mm-hmm.
if you're in the boat and you do it, it automatically turns your boat toward the main objective. So if I'm in like at the middle of a lake trying to go somewhere and I click on the map and then I unclick the map and it was a swipe right, it like detected my boat just 180s. And I'm like, God damn it. And it's so hard to control the boat on my own to make it 180. And if you use turn back, like the swipe down one that I have for a quick turn, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't turn the boat.
Oh.
Why would that not turn the boat? Like there are some very minor gripes that I could have with like the navigation of the game. But
Yeah.
overall, I think it's a fantastic game so far. I am loving it. I think I'm like 21 hours in.
I think I
So,
just
and
hit 30 last night.
yeah, and I know you were at 22 when you got a certain ability or whatever you told me, like that's where you
Yeah.
unlocked the ability to get stuff. I'm not close to that, I don't think.
Where are
So
you?
I have, all right. So this is gonna be the first time where it's like spoilers, probably
I'm
just for
probably
people.
not
Just
gonna.
spoiler
Last
alert.
time during what's it called, Doctor Strange, I put something up here. I'm probably not gonna do that.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna spoiler alert people right now because from this moment on, we're probably talking spoilers about God of War, and then we're gonna transition maybe to movies and stuff.
And Black Panther will
So
have spoilers too.
yeah, so spoiler alert from now to the end of the episode probably of God of War, and then when we start talking about the new topics, I uh basically just finished Vanaheim. Like there was a
Okay.
couple of things that I'm missing, like that Raven that I missed, and I don't know where it was and stuff.
Also, if it is in Freyr's camp, that is on 100% Vanaheim visit too.
It's not Freyr's camp.
Oh.
It's when you were going with Hawk version of
Oh, to
Freya.
the Nithog fight.
Yeah, there was a place where it was saying Raven's Croaks to me, and I knew on the map that there was an Odin's Raven, and I was looking around, I just could not see this fucking thing. I mean, it's green everywhere
Yeah.
on this point of the map. So I was like, maybe I gotta go down more because it looked like there were chests down there and stuff. So I just moved on, but we never went back to it. So I
Also,
gotta
yeah,
like manage to walk there.
that eastern Bari woods that you saw at the end of your stream, that's also like you saw like on a boat or something. That's also visit too, because I just
Yeah, I
went there.
figured that it's a different. I figured that you have to get a whole different network of rivers
Yeah.
to get over to it. So I just wrapped that up and I went to the desert in Alfheim and I freed the second Hafgulfa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped because I was gonna pause. I was gonna take a break, feed the dogs dinner, walk them, and stuff. But I laid down on my bed, which was a critical mistake, and I fell asleep for 3 hours.
Dang.
So then I woke up, and I hate napping. Whenever I nap, like it doesn't matter how long it is. If I consider it a nap, it could be an 8 hour sleep. If I consider it a nap, I wake up, my mouth feels weird. I'm like hot, I'm overheated, I sweat through my shirt. I just feel sick when I wake up. That means it was a nap.
Mm-hmm.
If I slept, then I wake up totally fine and refreshed, and it's nice.
Interesting.
So I napped for like 2.5 or 3 hours. I'm surprised that the dogs let me sleep because I slept through their dinner time and definitely through at least one of them having to go to the bathroom. And they didn't wake me up. So like I just woke up naturally at like 9:30. Like I think I fell asleep at like 6:30. So I just woke up naturally at 9:30 and then Zeus is just playing on the end of the bed like with a toy, which I guess woke me up. And I was like, "Oh shit. Well, there's no way I'm going back to stream now because I still have to feed the dogs. I still have to eat dinner. All the things I was going to do at 6:30, I still have to do, and then I
Yeah.
would have to go back." So I was going to do the desert
Yeah, I think.
for
Have
visit
you done
2 of
anything
Alfheim.
Atreus solo yet? Minus or after Jotunheim?
No, but I think on Lapu's stream, I saw one of the things that he does, like just where he was.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of like I didn't see the story. I just saw that he was in a certain realm.
Yeah.
I assume that that's like where the main story picks up. And you know, let me tell you something too. While we're on this, I love the interactions in this game.
Oh yeah.
They're so much better than the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of the because there's so many more players involved now. Like I love that. Frey and Kratos, I'll ship them to the end of time. I think that they make a magnificent power couple. Okay, the God of War and the Queen of the Valkyries, let's do it up. But their interactions together, the way that Freya is so like sarcastic to Mimir,
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Yeah,
I
I love
love
that.
that. I love how she does that. I love that Mimir is like this weird apologetic, like, oh, I'm really sorry, and that, but he still also jokes around and makes his puns, and she makes
Mm-hmm.
fun of him for that. I even like the characters I haven't spent that much time with, like Freyr. I like. I I don't know if this for sure, but he looks a lot like Nathan Drake to me. So is that Nolan North voicing him?
I didn't get those vibes, but maybe let me check.
That was what I wanted to ask you because sometimes you know if you like recognize a voice. But I love their interactions on the boats so much superior to Kratos and Atreus interactions
Yeah.
on the boats and stuff.
No, it's
Mostly
not.
because the Atreus Kratos ones, that's just a retelling of the stories from the first game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Mimir, what were those giant stories? And then he just summarizes all of them. It's like, yeah, I heard them in the first game. Who's playing this game without playing the first game and hearing all of those?
Yeah.
You know, like maybe you want a refresher, but I also like Atreus' interaction with I forget her name, but the little giantess girl who's like part of
Oh,
his destiny and
Angerboda,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, Angerboda. I like their interactions together. Um, I actually the number one relationship in that whole story for me right now is definitely Kratos Mimir.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't think Kratos had it in him to
I
actually like a character other than
oh
his
yeah.
own flesh and blood, and he definitely likes Mimir.
Hell yeah.
He helps him, he picks him up to show him stuff all the time, like
Mm-hmm.
just of his own, like just to be helpful. Like the way that they talk to each other, the way they confide in each other. Like Kratos has never in his entire life, I don't think, had a confidant.
Yeah,
really. Let's face it. And Mir is that for him,
yeah, I
which is
love it.
insane. And now
Kratos might
he's
be,
that for Freya.
yeah, Kratos might be like the best evolution of a video game character.
Yeah, his story
Going
arc
from
basically.
like God of War 1, where he's just this dude who doesn't give a shit about anything.
When he was designed by David Jaffe instead of these other people, yes.
Yeah, love
I
it.
was thinking about that earlier today. Like, where did David Jaffe go in this whole like God of War thing? He started us down this line. I wonder if he even gets like a producer credit or anything. I don't know what he does in his life.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's even still in the video game world. But thank you, David Jaffe, for giving us God of War,
Mhm.
the original stuff, because if those games didn't exist on PS2, this one wouldn't.
Yeah.
And this game is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
This game just looks amazing. In Vanaheim, even when they're doing the Great Migration and stuff,
Mhm.
and they're so far down beneath you, you can still watch individual fucking cattle or whatever they are just walking if you
Yeah.
wanted to for like 10
Or like
minutes.
when you free the half Goofa and you look up and you see all the babies flying around.
When they mate and stuff, and then they
Yeah.
fall and die and go into like the golden particles. Oh my god, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
I all those like weird world interactions. One of the critiques I have is the same one that you have. We actually talked about this last night or maybe this morning. In Vanaheim, you have an option to do a side quest for Freya,
Oh
and
yeah.
it should 100% be a main quest.
100%.
It's all about her. It's all about her redemption and cutting her ties to Asgard because she hates Odin. You go through a clearly main story level time investment and fights
Mhm.
in this fucking thing, and you get a bitchin' sword
Yeah.
for Freya, like an upgrade, an obvious
Almost
upgrade.
like needed sword, I'd say.
Yeah, especially on harder difficulties.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, on harder difficulties, it's more necessary probably to do all the side quests anyway to get the experience and the mats and like just like the fighting experience, so you know how to fight enemies better.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, no, I think so far this game is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. I agree. I need to see if they stick the landing, but I imagine they will.
It definitely seems like it. The only thing I'm wondering is this like the end of this story, or is it going to be like a trilogy?
I know it's the end of Norse.
Well,
I
then it's
just
not going to be a trilogy yet
yeah.
if it's the end of Norse.
I just wonder like where we go from here. Because I know pre God of War 2018 there was a comic where they did Egypt gods, I think. I don't know anything about it if they killed the main gods or what happened if we could go back there for a game. Um
I guess that's as he traveled through from Greece up
yeah.
to Norse land.
Or I think he had
Yeah.
Atreus with him, but like way younger. I don't know. But um either way, like you'll see when you get to Lake of Nine frozen over, but like um there's the artifacts there. The set is like one piece from every like mythology or something. I haven't gotten them all, but I've gotten like Egypt, Mayan. There's one that I have no idea what it is, but bunch of stuff we can get to.
The possibility of teasing,
Yeah.
like teasing where they could go
I
with
did see
the
people were
story.
pissed off because the dude was like, "We're probably not gonna have DLC or whatever," and it's like, well, "Shut the fuck up." The first one didn't have DLC. It was a great game. We don't need
Yeah, not
DLC.
every game needs DLC.
I am
Like,
also like not a DLC hater. I'll play any DLC that comes out mainly, but like we don't. It's not necessary.
yeah, I've never been a huge fan. I prefer just like the core story, and then I mean there were some exceptions. Like obviously you fall in love with a world and like a universe. Like I would want to play The Witcher 3
Yeah, it's being begged by your
DLC.
viewers.
Yeah, but I mean also it's just a really awesome game and an awesome world, and I really
Oh, I don't
like
know
the
if I told
lore.
you. Witcher 2 got redeemed.
So I think you said someone had told you they planned to or something. But
Well,
good, perfect.
yeah,
Well, Witcher 1. It's funny that they're doing. We're gonna get a little sidetracked here, but it's funny that they're doing like the remake in Unreal Engine 5 for that.
yeah.
But they're not, at least not yet, doing Witcher 2 because Witcher 2 is the one that's given Fisher so many problems with like the way it's set up on Steam and stuff. Like it crashes on him all the time, and that's the reason
Oh,
why like he kind of fell off. So there's probably things that you'll have to look up about maybe something you got to change about the settings or
yeah.
something. But like when
I'll
you get to
replay
it,
Witcher 1. I liked it. It was just dated as fuck, but the overall
yeah,
game I liked.
I want to play. Like I just started Witcher 3, but I would want to play Witchers 1 and 2. But for Witcher 1 especially, I think I need an update to
Yeah.
the game before I would enjoy it. And I know the story from either watching you or like reading like stories online about the books and stuff. But anyway, and like Horizon had great DLC, and I'm looking forward to whatever DLC is going to come for Horizon Forbidden West
Hmm.
because the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC was basically like an interim. mini game that led into the story of Forbidden West, like
Yeah.
where it introduced like different aspects of like what like some of the AIs were doing and stuff. So, have you played that one? You haven't played that
Frozen
yet, right?
Wilds,
Forbidden
yeah.
West.
Not Forbidden West. I played Frozen Wilds.
Yeah, you played for. Yeah, I knew you played that. Yeah, Forbidden West. Yeah, that's like you got to get on that one when at some point
Yeah,
soon.
it's always sitting at my desk right here.
Yeah, I know. That's one that I recommend now. I don't think that it's a 10 of 10 to the same extent that God of War is, but I think it's a really really amazing like high rated game.
Yeah.
Like I would say 9 out of 10 for sure, like an easy 9 out of 10. Um but for now I lost my track of the DLC thing. Like yeah, the first it's all contained. I mean, let's say that this ends the story, right? So like at the end like every bad god is dead. What's he supposed to do in the DLC? Kill the good gods, the ones that he likes? He's supposed to like be like, "Hey Frey, I'm gonna just fight you cause,
Yeah.
just throw a blade at her and chop her head off or something." He kills gods. Like if he has no more gods to kill, what DLC are you even looking for? His
Yeah.
travels across the ocean to the next land, where he's just gonna encounter like some water spirits from ancient Greece that are still pissed at him for killing Poseidon or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you expect in DLC for a game like this. Like it's not really a world building game. It's really like it has a clear theme.
Yeah.
So he needs enemies, like and like let's say Kratos like is we're done with Kratos, he dies or something like Atreus needs enemies. Someone needs enemies, right?
Yeah.
Like
That's what I just hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't.
I hope he
But
doesn't either also. He's such
because
a good
you
character now.
can't, you cannot. If he dies, he's dead. There's no way we're going to hell and getting him back. I think because it's
Yeah,
been
what hell
done
would he
too
even
many
be in?
times.
He's a
Yeah.
Greek god in the Norse lands. Like
Yeah.
what hell would he even be in to go retrieve his body? The only thing I can think of is you would go to the light of Alfheim and put together
Oh.
his 4 pieces, and that could
Mm-hmm.
be like the DLC or something. But then like you have DLC where you resurrect the main character
Yeah.
fully. Like obviously that's mandatory to play if you're a fan of the games.
Yeah.
Like DLC should never really be mandatory to play. Like you should be able to get like it's really supposed to be an add-on and like an extra. It shouldn't be something that's like so story important that if you don't play the DLC before like the next game comes out, then you're just totally lost.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah.
Um.
Little
Yeah.
asterisk.
Yeah. I'm fine with it only because if I like the game, I'm gonna play the DLC no matter what. So I'm
Well,
fine with
yeah.
because it's like if I'm gonna skip, if I don't like the game enough to play the DLC, I probably won't play the sequel in that situation. Um, unless like the sequel is way different, but for the most part, I play pretty much every DLC I can.
Yeah. And we're different there, I guess. I don't know. Once I'm done with the game, it's hard for me to put the game back in and go back into that world. Like
Well,
once I've
that's
moved
also
on to other
different.
stuff.
Like if it comes out later, because I'm sort of like that too. If God of War came out, I would 100% play it. But like I'm talking like I just played Sleeping Dogs recently, where the DLC was already out for it, or like Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare. That shit's been out.
Hmm.
So like I'm not really like taking the game out, putting it back in. I roll the credits and I start the DLC.
Yeah. Yeah. But like yeah, for current games,
Yeah.
what you have to do is you're done with the game. You beat it. If you're a huge fan, you beat the game. And then you're waiting like 6 months or a year, and then the DLC comes out. And it's like, all right, I got to put this game back in and relearn all the controls and like get used to it again for 4 hours of gameplay
Yeah, but to be
compared
fair,
to the
your
original
Witcher
game
3,
that was
that shit
40.
was out. That shit was out and you said fuck everyone.
I didn't own it.
Oh,
I
it
didn't own
wasn't
it.
like a bundle or whatever. You got
I didn't have a
everything.
Game of the Year edition. I don't think.
Oh,
No,
dang.
I
Yeah.
had like the regular one, so I would have to either buy it via the PlayStation Store, or I would need to buy like a Game of the Year edition and probably like replay the whole game. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, they're doing that remastered next gen update or whatever. So you could always play them like off stream
Yeah,
and do the DLC.
yeah. I have options for the DLC for that one. Yeah, like it's on the list of things to do, but there. I mean,
There's so much
like
shit.
I was talking about earlier. There's. I mean, you have to choose, right? Like,
Yeah.
would I choose the Witcher 3 DLC over God of War Ragnarok? No.
That's the other thing is
So
like with Pokemon, everyone's yeah, it's like I don't know, like today, I want to play God of War again. And I'm probably gonna play God of War again, but I should play Pokemon because I generally like to switch it up with what I stream. But it's like I'm just itching God of War and I want to play God of War. So I'm probably gonna play
yeah,
God of War.
with the way that you do it, it's like whatever you're feeling that day is what you should just go with. Like
Yeah.
because I imagine, let's say like you do like be like, oh, out of my duty to mixing things up, I'm gonna play Pokemon. But then like an hour in, you're just like, man, I wish I was playing God of War. Like it's
Yeah,
gonna kill your energy and
yeah,
everything. Like if it's gonna if it's gonna kill like your enjoyment of your own stream, like why do it?
yeah,
I tell that to like well, mainly just Fisher and you. But like for anyone that would ask, like if you have the whole point of streaming, at least for me, is like you want to have fun.
yeah,
As the streamer, you want to have fun. Maybe you like have fun no matter what game you're playing because you have a big enough audience that you're interacting with chat all the time, and that's what you really love about streaming. But like for smaller streamers, you have like maybe like less than 10 people regularly, and sometimes chat's just dead and like there's no one talking, so there's no interaction. You're just like playing the game like let's play style.
yeah.
Like you have to be enjoying the game. Otherwise, like you're just gonna be not talking. Anyone that does join your stream is gonna be like, wow, this guy looks like he hates his life. So the whole point of streaming is to have fun. Like just do whatever the most fun option is.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I gotta beat. Don't even remember what game I was playing. I gotta beat a certain game before God of War comes out because I know I'm gonna want to play God of War more than I'm gonna want to play this game, and then I won't enjoy this game as much.
Yeah.
So like those are like the little like challenges I like left for myself. What game was I
I
streaming?
know.
God
I'm
damn,
I'm
now that's
literally
gonna drive
going
me
to your
crazy.
channel now because I don't remember what you were playing either.
I could look at my recordings, like the 52 to 75 recordings that I have VODs that haven't been uploaded to YouTube.
That shit's crazy.
Which I'm gonna work on. Yes, I need to work on that. Oh my god.
You were playing. Okay, it was a bunch of Overwatch 2. Oh, Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, yeah.
Great
Which was
game.
another great game. I enjoyed. I enjoyed that a ton. I'm looking
And
forward to the
that's
next games when they come out.
Reunion is coming out December 13th, which is the Crisis Core remake, which you're gonna play.
Yeah,
That
I'm
looks
not
good.
as excited for that
Yes,
one
you are.
because I never played the Crisis
Yes, you
Core.
are.
I'm
Listen,
probably just gonna like watch your streams of that game
that's
and
fucking
hope that
insane. That's
I'm gonna
fucking
hope
insane.
that you. Well, I mean, maybe I'll end up also playing the game. Jesus, I watched your streams of Final Fantasy VII Remake and I still played the game. Like,
Yeah. Listen,
calm down.
you're gonna have some downtime.
Yeah,
Is that it? Wasn't there something else going on concurrently with Final, like a long time ago, with Final Fantasy 7 remake that you were playing?
can't remember. Let me look at my videos. But it has to have been something that I was going to upload because there are certain things that I've streamed and not recorded.
Yeah, like a bunch of Overwatch 2, Raid Night.
How many 104 items in this folder.
That's insane.
Holy
This
shit.
man, just for reference, he has not. He so we both run like a VOD channel. We're both, let's be real, a little bad about it. Um, he has not uploaded a VOD, which is fine, in 9 months. But he streamed pretty regularly in those 9 months. So he just
So I
has.
have complete playthroughs in here. Like absolutely complete playthroughs. Like I think Horizon Forbidden West, I haven't uploaded any of or none of it's live. That whole
Yeah.
game is done. That was the start of it. That whole game is done.
The last
What
game you
games?
uploaded from stream is Disco Elysium.
Yeah, my 14-hour final stream of it. God of War the original or God of War PS4, so the first Norse one,
Mm-hmm.
and then Final Fantasy VII Remake. Those are the two that overlapped.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then after I beat that, Final Fantasy VII Remake became like the primary one, and then there must have been something I was streaming that was I streamed a little bit of World of Warcraft, some Overwatch 2 here and there and stuff. There must have been something else that I just wasn't recording. I have to like think back on it. I don't know, but yeah, those are like the big games. But I mean, they're big games. Their playthroughs are like I try to cut myself off for a VOD at 2 hours, and then I upload like 2 hour stretches of it. So even though like yesterday I streamed for like 4.5 or like 6 hours or something, I have 2 3 hour VODs
You
from
should
it.
just do the whole thing. What's the problem again? I forgot.
Well, Miles Morales, the file was too big for YouTube,
Oh,
so I started cutting up for that reason, and then also it's just a little bit more manageable.
I think the
Like,
opposite, because then you got to upload 2 VODs for one
well, no, it's a
stream.
little more manageable for everyone else besides me.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I could go back to it. I mean, the thing is,
Here's my thing.
to transition to stream talk, like then I would basically be like, I definitely got to do like a main channel, which is my current channel, and then I would have to make a new channel that would be like DRJ VODs.
Yeah, that's what
You know?
I pivoted mine to VODs.
Yeah, so I would have to do that. But I want to keep my current channel that I have all these other VODs already up on
Yeah,
as my main channel. So I'd have to like figure out how to download all that stuff, move it over, and then delete it from my main channel
yeah.
and stuff. So that's like a project for like like after I am more on top of everything. Once I get more into social media and I start like, because I'm trying to take it like much more seriously now. It's just the time constraint of having a full-time job is ridiculous when you
Yeah,
also want to like upload like clips to maybe Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So I really need to look up like some sort of streamlining tools that make it a lot easier to
yeah.
just do.
Um, we are coming up at about an hour, but I don't want to end before talking about Black Panther.
It's our first one. It's our first recording for a while. Why don't we go like an hour and a half?
All right.
So yeah.
Um, but yeah, Black Panther. I mean, I've seen it twice. Overall, I liked it. And if you come out of the movie saying hashtag recast T'Challa, you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my overall
I
opinion.
I am good with the way that they did the death of T'Challa and everything. I'm fine with that. I have, as I do all the time now, because this is the fanboy area where you're the fanboy and I'm like more critical. Obviously, is
Yeah,
Marvel.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I have a couple of gripes with it, but more so with just the movie as a whole. I think it's not even the movie as a whole. It's Marvel as a whole right now. They jam pack too many things into one 2.5 hour movie. We didn't get, again, spoiler alert for Black Panther,
Yeah.
obviously. My main problem, I enjoyed the movie. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I liked my time watching it. But there are just some things that where one of the things that people like, you fell in love with Marvel from Iron Man 1. Everyone did. That's the beginning of it all. In that movie, he builds the suit. You kind of see version 1. You get the villain that you need in the end and stuff. He makes version 2, which is the much better one, the arc reactor in his chest and everything like that. In this movie, you had Ironheart. The only reason you even know that character's name is because of one 2 second scene where she torched out a heart
Mm-hmm.
somewhere where I didn't even see it on the armor. I have no idea where the fuck it was. Then you got these Midnight Angel things.
The Midnight Angel's
Nanobot
ugly as fuck.
technology.
Listen,
They're ugly. I don't understand how they work. I don't know their powers. I don't know anything about them. They explained literally nothing and they're on screen for like 5 minutes total.
Shuri was like,
Like,
"Why doesn't Okoye like my outfit? Because it's ugly. That's the
yeah,
only
because
reason."
it's super disgustingly ugly. Like, yeah, of course she wants the ability to fly and have nanotechnology. She just wants it to fit with her combat style, which this is
Yeah.
not her combat style at all.
Ironheart. I agree with Midnight Angel. Ironheart. I think we're gonna get all that in her show. I like
That is
because
the
the
thing though.
whole
I
thing is
understand that.
the whole thing is like, oh, I can't let you take the suit home. So clearly she's gonna need to build another suit that's gonna be more homemade.
Yeah, yeah, without it being made of vibranium or whatever, and then when she really needs to fight her tough shit, it's gonna be made of vibranium. She's
Well,
gonna go
no,
to Wakanda and pick up the
I
good one.
hated it. Looked like a fucking Gundam. I hated her final suit too.
Yeah, I didn't really like the look of it that much.
It
And I
was
mean,
so
like,
bulky. It looked like the Hulkbuster. So
yeah,
we can do
I
vibranium.
don't,
Scrap that suit.
and I don't understand. I understand no one's full power set from this movie, just FYI, except Namor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like Shuri, how did she design her suit? Is it exactly the same as T'Challa's suit, or is there new stuff in it? I mean, there's some new stuff in it because she has her integrated lion
Yeah.
fucking beam things. But you're telling me that in like fucking 4 years she didn't design anything else new? No way. But
Well,
they
I mean,
didn't
she
have time to
wasn't the
go
Black
over it.
Panther.
Showing the Black Panther, she didn't think the Black Panther was gonna come back. But she's a fucking super genius. She has ideas all the time. She wouldn't have taken some of the ideas from Midnight Angel and thrown it into her own suit, like the ability to fly, maybe. Like I don't know. They're like one of my problems is the fact that they introduce all these new things and there's no power description. Nemours people ride on killer whales. Do they train them? Are they psychically linked to them? I don't know. Are they Aquaman version
I
or are
just don't.
they
That gripe
they
I don't
train
think
them?
is important. Well, it doesn't matter how they
It's
control
not
them. They
super
control them.
important. It's not super important, but like I don't know. Give me some kind of information about this civilization as a whole besides the fact that they use vibranium.
Yeah.
Like
Namor, whatever you want to call him, fucking top tier MCU villain. I think I put him top 5. I loved him.
I I liked I liked aspects of him, but so one of the things I can't really I'm not the authority on this. My girlfriend is Mexican. Tua Takala and stuff, like
Hmm.
that's Mayan, that's Mexico. Like those are things that she grew up with. I'm literally wearing this is what Tua Takalan looks like, this shirt.
Mhm.
I got this in Mexico. This is what the feathered serpent looks like."
Mhm.
And she was complaining about the way that Marvel really butchered the lore
Oh yeah, I have no idea about that.
of the god,
Yeah.
because they still, I mean, there are still temples down there to this guy, to this
Yeah.
thing. Like, so in Mexico, you can get like the full actual story. So, and she was really like turning me against it because of that, like how like some of the things that they did, it's just like totally like unrealistic, and she considers it way worse than like, well, not that she considers it bad the way that Marvel treats like, Norse gods and Greek gods and stuff like that, but she basically said like it was she was almost like insulted by the way that they
Yeah,
created this
there's
character.
two things.
So
One, MCU is gonna change or Marvel itself is gonna change everything. Thor is not Thor, like Norse Thor. Like that's always gonna change. Um, Two, I mean, like this is gonna sound very atheistic. Gods aren't real. We can change. I don't know.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know, I get it. I don't. I would need her to like kind of re-describe it, but I mean, she used the
Yeah,
word like borderline insulted, like
yeah,
for like her heritage about
yeah,
it. But I think that's mostly because like you don't go to Norway and see people worshiping Thor and Odin,
yeah,
but you still see people here that are like taking care of temples for this god of the
yeah.
rain and stuff like that. So it's more of a current day deity that's still like respected and revered
But what about the
versus
god
ancient
themselves?
gods.
Did they do in the movie? I know they said they
Just the
called
story,
him the
like
god, but he's
the
not the
story,
god. They just called him that.
yeah, the story about his like birth and stuff is very similar to the story of like the god's birth, basically, like how
Ah,
the god came into being.
mm-hmm.
It's just obviously they made up like the people breathing water and being
Yeah,
blue and like the vibranium plant and stuff like that.
yeah,
So that was like that kind of turned me a little bit against him. I liked him. I thought that he was engaging the same way that Loki is engaging.
yeah,
Like I don't really I don't really respect his like life's goal the same way I respect Loki's to take over Asgard and like or
yeah.
take over the world and stuff. This dude was like, let's just take out the surface people because they might one day threaten my underwater civilization, which let's face it, no, they're fucking not going to do that. Like we've explored more of space than we have the bottom of the ocean, like in a realistic universe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't give a shit about you guys down there with your one light bulb
Yeah.
sitting
Well, they
above your temple
wouldn't.
or
They
whatever.
wouldn't. I don't think he would have. But it was the shit at the beginning.
Like the vibranium.
Yeah.
Like they would want the vibranium so they'd attack you. Dude, what kind of things can we design that will work in the deep sea? He says it himself. Look at the suits there in the beginning of the movie. They can't
Yeah.
move in them.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna bring to a war against your people that are swimming freely in the ocean with super strength and like killer whales trained and shit like that. Come on,
Yeah.
you know. So like it wasn't really a major threat yet. So I don't really respect his like mission, but I like his um personality,
The actor was good. Like
and
I think like he
I like
stole
the
the scenes
actor.
he was in. Yeah.
I like the actor. I like his personality. Like I like the character's like general design. So I'm looking forward to the fact that he's still in it and he's
Oh
not just
yeah.
the one shot villain that he's
Finally,
died that's dead
finally,
again.
Marvel kept the villain alive.
Yeah. I mean
Jesus
they brought
Christ.
one back in the spirit world.
Yeah. I
Killmonger.
love Killmonger was freaking. I'm so happy we did not see CGI T'Challa. When I saw someone was on the throne, I was so scared. I was like, "There's no way they do this."
I was convinced they de-aged the queen. I was convinced
Oh
that they had de-aged the queen, but
no,
then
I think
when it
seeing
was
Killmonger just it makes sense.
I
Like
was
Shuri,
surprised by that.
yeah, Shuri
I was
was
surprised
like
by that.
she had this like inner battle that Killmonger was the one person I think she needed to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean she was torn between being following mom's footsteps and
Yeah.
following herself, which is much more aligned with Killmonger
But yeah,
in the moment.
at the end of the day, take out every gripe of the movie and every like about the movie. The movie had one goal, and that was honor Chadwick Boseman, and I think they did that. Like
Yeah.
honor him without insulting his death. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think they did that.
I agree. I agree, especially the mid-credit scene
Yeah.
when you find out like his girlfriend, wife, fiance. I never really
Yeah.
understood their full scope of their relationship, but obviously lovers. He had a kid
Yeah.
that's existed for super long, and he never told Shuri, his closest confidant. Whatever. Uh, and he's named T'Challa, son of
Yeah.
T'Challa or whatever. So that's like awesome. So that's not really like recasting T'Challa. That's like literally just like version two
Yeah.
of T'Challa, I guess, is going to eventually come. But I'm going to go back to one of the gripes I have with it for sure is I would have picked anyone besides Shuri to be Black Panther. I don't like
Uh,
that Shuri's the Black Panther.
I think she.
I would have picked the general that became Midnight Angel
Oh yeah,
over.
Koye is awesome, but
She should have been Black Panther.
she should have. But like, you're not gonna see anyone. You need to do some ancestral shit, and nothing is gonna be as powerful as a scene as seeing someone from Shuri's line.
Yeah, except I would, but then I would argue they call the kings and queens like mom and
Yeah, so
mother
you
and
could
father.
potentially,
So
yeah,
you would have the kings and queens.
yeah,
That would be their ancestors. Like they're all kind of tied together. Maybe you would see Queen. Maybe you'd even see Killmonger and
yeah,
stuff. Like they're all like since he was also royalty and stuff. So I would have preferred, and also like, and I don't know if this is, they did T'Challa train Shuri in fighting? Who knows? Is it just the power of the Black Panther that all of a sudden you have skills in fighting
yeah,
and you like fight like a panther? It's probably more so the latter, but she's a super genius. Give her like she should have been Midnight Angel. They should have designed the suit to look much cooler. She should have been more Midnight Angel, and the General should have been more Black Panther. Or I would have taken the General or the girlfriend,
yeah.
the mom of
Nakia is,
T'Challa too.
yeah.
Both of
No, I
them
think I think
would have
when
been much better choices as Black
well, I
Panther.
think I
I
think
think
she's
personally.
she's like an interim Black Panther. I think once T'Challa 2 is of age, they're I don't think they kill her, but I think he will 100% be Black Panther. But that's the thing is
Yeah,
like, what kind of time skip? He's young as shit. He's younger
yeah.
than
He's
the
like
Young
what, like
Avengers.
6?
Yeah.
He's like 6 or something.
What
Yeah,
kind of time
like
skips
he's
do you have to do for him? Unless you do like Ant-Man Quantumania does time shit, which they could do very well or very easily.
yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah. Quantum Realm is all about time and stuff.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I don't. Yeah. So I don't know where they'll go with it in the
But yeah, I
future,
don't
but
think
I
she's
think
gonna be like
Shuri.
permanent Black Panther.
I think Shuri's wasted as Black Panther. Just like not
Also,
wasted. I should say, like Black Panther's a brawler, like is a fighter.
yeah.
Shuri is a super genius. She's on par with Ironheart. She's probably a little bit better because she's older and she's had all this technology and stuff. And like Ironheart is clearly like a mix between like a poor Tony Stark or something. She's like a mix between like Spider Man and Tony Stark,
Mhm.
basically, when it comes to like intelligence and like upbringing and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm fine with her with that character being Ironheart, but I would have preferred Shuri being like Iron Woman or like or the Midnight Angel stuff, and they should have developed a Midnight Angel more
Yeah.
and with cooler abilities.
Also, I loved M'Baku. He is the best character.
Oh my god, first off, I love that actor.
Yeah.
He was in. I don't think you watched the show Person of Interest.
No, I
You ever see
haven't.
that show? It has Jesus himself, Jim Caviezel.
I
He
don't
was
know
in
who
the
that
Passion of
is.
the Christ. He was Jesus. In
Oh.
Jesus,
Oh.
he played Jesus in Passion of the Christ. He's an awesome actor himself. But the dude who plays M'Baku is one of the uh, longest arc villains in that show.
Oh.
He's introduced as like actually he might be like he's just like this bumbling like big idiot guy, and then you find out he's like the leader of like this like the leader of like this guy who consolidated all the gangs of New York City under
Mhm.
himself. Like it, he's just a really awesome actor. I also really love we're talking about relationships in like God of War. Him and Shuri,
Oh
top
yeah.
notch,
Mhm.
top
Oh,
notch
I don't
emotional
ship them,
impact between the
but
two of them.
yeah.
No, not a ship. I
Oh,
mean
okay.
mentor.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
like
Brother
him.
sister
Old,
almost.
he replaced T'Challa as an older
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, yeah. I
He
agree.
literally just stepped right in. He's like, I promised your brother that I'd take care of you. I am your older brother now.
Yeah.
And then I like the fact that he like Shuri basically has given up the queendom to him. He's gonna be king.
Yeah.
Which like see
Which is
that
weird
now
because the
that
whole point of
leaves.
being Black Panther is that we need a defender of Wakanda, and now you're gonna live in Haiti.
I don't know if she's gonna live there. I think that she was just visiting. I think she's still gonna live in Wakanda
Oh.
and develop stuff in Wakanda. That's the way I took it. Like she just went there to like because that's where the girlfriend was, and
Yeah.
so that's where she wanted to go to mourn T'Challa and in not be in Wakanda. Like that's how I took it. Obviously,
Yeah.
they can progress it however. Oops. Um, but I like that he'll be king. But then it leaves like, what is Shuri then? She's just like a scientist of Wakanda. Then she's not queen anymore. She's not really the royal family. Like not really the royal family unless you're the king. So now M'Baku's the royal family, but she's like his like adopted sister basically. So if he were to die or get or something or like she would probably take over for him. He doesn't have a wife or a kid as far as we know.
I'm sure they still
I don't
call
know.
her princess.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that she'll still be labeled princess and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
but but as far as power
Oh.
dynamic, she's not.
But
She's
what
not
what
the
power did
reigning
she have
monarchy.
before? Like,
She was queen.
no, yeah, but like, what did she do as queen besides say like, "Ah, we're gonna attack these people"? Like, she
Oh,
did like,
nothing. Her
yeah,
reign as queen was super short lived. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, basically, like in the coronation ceremony is the one that we saw where he was like, "Oh, sure, he can't make it, but I'm also challenging for the mantle of king."
yeah.
So basically, she like just cedes the power to him. I
Um,
mean,
Also, I think now that we know that fucking Seinfeld girl is
head of the CIA, deputy
yeah,
director, or whatever,
so
director of the CIA.
I'm thinking maybe the plot of Thunderbolts, which is what's gonna end Phase 5. This ended Phase 4, if you don't count Holiday Special, which came out yesterday. I still haven't watched it.
I haven't
Um,
watched it either.
so this ended Phase 4. Thunderbolts ends Phase 5. I think Thunderbolts, the plot might be like an attack on Wakanda for vibranium, using the Thunderbolts like a secret underground team of anti-heroes. But then you have to think, well, why would Bucky be part of that? Because he's part of the Thunderbolts, and
Hmm.
Wakanda saved him. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe part of the strife is or the movie is that he sides with Wakanda and gives them
Yeah,
advanced warning
yeah,
and stuff, and he gets kicked off the team at least temporarily. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's intriguing. I like how they
Everett
freed
Ross.
yeah, Ross. I thought that was awesome. So he's just
Yeah,
gonna be like living in Wakanda,
yeah,
doing his thing or whatever. He's a great character. He evolved into a great character also. Like
yeah.
from having a small role for his first Marvel appearance to
Hmm.
expand. He's the same as Chen is the guy's name from WandaVision. The
Uh
guy, the
oh, you're the guy
Asian,
from Ant Man and the Wasp.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one who's the handler for
Um,
Ant Man,
I forget his name,
and
but
he
yeah,
eventually starts becoming like he gets a bigger role. He's in WandaVision and stuff like that.
yeah,
But it reminds me kind of his arc. He's like just this small gag character, and then he's brought on for more
yeah.
things, like as a character. So
Um, how do you feel about? So obviously, we both disagree with recast T'Challa. Um, so but what's his face though did get recasted, and people are like, well, this is fucking hypocritical as shit. Um, Thunderbolt Ross was that actor who died. I'm blanking on his name, but now he's gonna be Harrison Ford.
the General
Yeah,
Ross.
yeah. So he got recast. The actor died. He got recast. Everyone's like, "That's hypocritical." T'Challa or Chadwick Boseman died. He should be recasted. I think it's different, but people don't think
I
it's different.
Yeah, I think it's different. I mean, one, it's just T'Challa, the character, is dead in Marvel's universe. That's the
Yeah.
difference, I think.
No, but
Like
that's what they're saying. Like
General
before the
Ross
movie,
isn't.
like obviously this the if Chadwick Boseman didn't die, the movie or Black Panther 2 wasn't gonna have this plot.
Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah.
course not. Yeah. I mean, maybe Namor would have been introduced, maybe a different villain or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, if Chadwick Boseman was still alive, he would still be Black Panther. I mean, I don't think anyone was going to be like, no, we want someone else as Black
Yeah.
Panther.
But this one, the movie
Like,
is still being written, but I assume it's end of phase 5. That's gonna be in a couple years. And they've already decided we are gonna recast him. So if even if they said we weren't going to, they could have rewritten the script like they rewritten Black Panther too.
yeah, they could have. I mean, it comes down to a choice from Disney slash Marvel, I guess. Like on if they want a different character to just like some no name character to be elevated like higher
Yeah.
in the cinematic universe and stuff. I guess because I know General Ross, he's big because
He becomes
he's
Red Hulk.
well, I mean, yeah, that, but also he starts off big because he's always the one trying to capture the Hulk, and
Yeah.
his daughter is the one who loves the Hulk and stuff. Like his family is important. And for T'Challa, he still has Shuri, so they still have his family in it. I don't know. I don't disagree with them recasting him as Harrison Ford, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I'm
I
fine
mean,
with that.
they recast the Hulk also,
Yeah.
right? They recast like I mean, obviously they're not going to change Bruce
Well, no,
Banner immediately from one movie to the next.
I don't think recasting the problem. I think people's
It's
problem that
for
I'm hearing
death.
is that he died. Yeah.
It's because they recast him because he died. But like T'Challa was Black Panther.
Yeah.
General Ross has been a small side character in like
Yeah.
3 or 4 Marvel movies.
That's true.
I think that's another major difference too. You have someone who was the centerpiece of the entire franchise, like the entire like IP or franchise Black Panther,
Yeah.
who died, and you would have to have someone who fills those shoes. It would almost be like it's almost like there's just I just think they're they're totally separate
Oh
for
yeah.
those
I
reasons
agree.
alone. He's
Yeah.
a huge major actor or major character in for the movie because he's the main character.
Yeah.
There is no General Ross movie. There is no General Ross Disney Plus series. Like he's just been a side character. I mean, add up the total amount of screen time that the two characters have had in
Yeah.
Marvel movies and TV shows and stuff. And in 3 movies or whatever Chadwick Boseman had, 4 movies, probably like 10 times the amount of screen time
Yeah.
as General Ross. So I think it really comes down to that. Had
Yeah.
General Ross been like a huge character and been like a ton of Marvel stuff leading up to now, I might feel a little bit different and think that they should just sure cast Harrison Ford, but not as General Ross, name him General Johnson. I don't know, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like make up a character. It doesn't have to be tied directly into the comics.
Yeah.
But I think that's the main difference for me is that he was a small character. He was a small side character and not like a main character.
That makes
And
sense.
and I mean, I mean, it also has to deal with like the people that interacted with him and stuff. Like Chadwick Boseman, like the entire cast of Black Panther, the movie, like interacted with him. They had scenes with him. He was like a presence on set and stuff.
Yeah.
I know John. I think it was John Hurt is the
Mm-hmm.
actor's name.
Yeah.
Who was General Ross? He's a great actor. He's a big actor. He's been in a ton of stuff. But I mean, he's been
I don't
in
think
one
it
of the
was.
movies he was in. He was just a hologram.
Yeah.
He wasn't like maybe I mean he was probably there to shoot the scene or whatever. But like he's not nearly as impactful for
William
like
Hurt.
the crew. William Hurt. William Hurt. Okay. It's like he's not nearly as impactful of a presence like on and off screen as
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman was. So that's a part of it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean also William Hurt, he's older. I forget what the cause of death was, but Chadwick Boseman like
It
literally
was.
fought through cancer and didn't tell anyone he was sick just
Yeah.
so that he could do this movie justice and stuff. I think that warrants some like a level of respect as well.
Yeah.
Also, not that you shouldn't respect William Hurt and all the work that he's done, but like Chadwick Boseman like took it to the next level
Yeah.
to give that character to do that character well. So to recast the character, like when the actor dies, it's definitely a tougher call. Like
Yeah.
I definitely prefer the way they did it this way,
Yeah.
the way that they did it, and honoring his memory and everything like that.
I agree. Oh, Hurt's death was also cancer. So I guess it is similar, but no, I agree. Just their presence
Yeah. Well, I
on
mean,
stage or on
like
screen.
age, different type of cancer. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean, if it was the exact same type of cancer, then that's I don't know. Like I'm just shooting myself in the foot then.
I don't know what
But
Chadwick Boseman's was, but his was prostate cancer that
which one?
metastasized to his bone. Hurt.
William Hurt, yeah. Oh, bone cancer is rough. Once it metastasizes to bone,
Well,
that's
listen, he lasted 4 years. It says May 2018. It was announced Hurt had terminal cancer that metastasized to his bone, and then he died March 2022 at 71.
and he definitely shot some scenes past 2018 for these
Yeah,
movies, right?
2019 was Endgame. 2021 was Black Widow.
Yeah.
But
So he's
those
just
were COVID times, so like probably they were filmed beforehand, but still.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it's hypocritical, really.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the character is different. The like the I don't want to say the I don't know. I'm losing the words here. I'm trying to think. I forget what I was gonna say. Like I guess the culture around the character. Like I mean,
Yeah,
Black Panther has the entire cult, like the African culture, the
yeah,
Wakanda culture. Like that is what T'Challa represented, right? So recasting him means you got to find someone who's gonna bring the same like energy, the same like level of culture and community and all this other stuff. So one, it's a lot harder to recast him for a ton of different reasons. But two, like I mean he actively fought through cancer. Like I mean he was one of the characters that had to be ripped Like he had to
Yeah.
work out through terminal cancer, like to maintain muscle mass and all this other stuff, to be a Marvel like worthy character as
Yeah.
a lead and stuff. So he did a lot of lifestyle changes so that he could make sure that he represented Black Panther in an appropriate and like a great way. And I honestly think it would just be unfair to try to have someone fill his shoes
Yeah. No one would do
like
as good.
in this moment. Like, yeah, I can't think of an actor who would really jump at the opportunity. They'd probably be like probably big name actors would be turning down
Yeah.
Marvel, saying no, I'm not going to follow Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
So I think they did it right, and I don't think it's hypocritical.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand.
Sounds good. Um. Well, I don't
We
think
didn't
there
really
was
have a big
anything
titty of the
else.
week.
Oh. What happened this week? Um.
We
Hmm.
really should watch that holiday special, I guess. They
Yeah, I heard it
released a
was
holiday
decent.
special, big titty of the week. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's my big titty. Oh, big titty. Thanksgiving. I had to have dinner with political conversation. Was a huge titty of the week.
Mm. Yeah, mine
I
was
just.
smaller. My mom just had knee replacement surgery, so it was
Mm,
me tackling Zeus away from her legs so that he didn't injure her.
mm-hmm.
So, like, that was my fight during Thanksgiving was with my own dog.
Nice.
Not even about politics or anything.
Yeah, I just
But yeah,
kept my mouth shut. I was like, if I talk, we're never coming back here again.
yeah.
Got to
Yep.
keep up appearances.
That's how I feel in every conversation I have. Mostly because I take the counterpoint on purpose
Yeah,
to people, even if it's not my own stance. I like to play devil's advocate just to rile people up.
yeah, it works.
Yeah, I know. Like when you're like, "All right, we're playing Pokemon," I'm like, "Well, my vote's God of War."
That one, when you voted, I took a poll in my Discord the other day, and I I thought I had people I could count on the God of War vote because I wanted to play God of War, and then all of a sudden, Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. He surprised me the most because I knew that his reasoning makes sense now. He wants to catch up to me, which he probably will if he's streaming the next 8 days all day. Like he's probably gonna
Korea
start.
comes back Wednesday, so I'll be streaming the next today's Saturday, right? Yesterday was Black Friday.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I'll be streaming today,
But
tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday.
you're gonna, I assume, you're gonna take a slight break for WoW, right?
Yeah, I'm debating it. I have the collector's edition sitting right there. I haven't even put in the code yet.
I think you
I
almost
didn't
need
get
to at this
I
point.
didn't get any of my characters like up and stuff.
But you
Like
have one main one, right? That you would play the
I have
story
a
on.
couple that are max level that I can just continue
Yeah,
story on. Yeah, no, I probably will. But the thing is, I never play WoW day one
because of the servers.
because because Blizzard doesn't understand the concept of like temporarily expanding their server capacity
Yeah, no,
in
it's too
advance of
much.
leading up to a launch.
It's too much for them.
Yeah, why would they do it for Overwatch? It's
Yeah,
not going to crash. No, they're just going to have a billion fucking crashes.
and then have
Like,
the
and
nerve
in
to
World of
tweet, "Oh
Warcraft,
my
they've
god,
had
25
this is
million
what
players."
World of Warcraft is. What is this? This is only like expansion 9 or something. Like they don't know. They don't have a track record to know what's going to happen. All right, so
Yeah,
they're going to play it safe and not buy any server capacity and just let every single fucking server in America go down at certain points and really piss off Asmongold when he's really shooting for world first max level and then
there you
his
go.
server crashes for an hour and a half and other servers with other big streamers don't crash.
So
You
it
know.
comes out Monday,
Yes, the 28th. The thing about the 28th is
28th.
also
Oh, I was looking at the wrong week. I thought it was the 21st. Yeah,
no, it comes out in 2 days.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it comes out so that's Monday. Um, the thing is, there's a for watching on Twitch, there's a mount drop that I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get for sure by watching like Asmongold or someone, and and then also the last I don't know if you probably didn't realize this since you haven't been playing Overwatch, but if you the last like week 2 weeks like each week when you log in you got a highlight intro for one of the new characters. So the first week you got a highlight intro for Sojourn,
Mm-hmm.
and then you logged in this week you get a highlight intro for Junker Queen, and starting on the 28th you get a highlight intro for Kiriko.
Oh,
So they're giving away some free stuff. So maybe that's like a going all the way back to the beginning of the podcast. Maybe that's like a sign. I forgot totally about that until just now. maybe that's a sign that they do understand that people want some free stuff from time to time, and they want cool free stuff,
Yeah.
not just like a weapon charm. So it says highlight intros are cool, and most characters have like 5 at most
Yeah.
highlight intros, like existing characters that have been around for 4 years, 6 years in Overwatch 1. So giving away highlight intros is pretty cool. So maybe they're gonna start doing that, and they'll do maybe like weekly like login bonus releases. You get like small things, but then every so often during big holiday events or something, like maybe once or twice uh like what event would be like summer games, Christmas, like
Hmm.
Halloween stuff. They'll give away like a skin, like a decent skin, or
Yeah.
like highlight intros, emotes, things like that, just for logging in, like not for money or anything like that. So the 28th, I also have to play Overwatch. I at least have to log in once and hope that the servers aren't totally crashing because somehow they're tied to World of Warcraft
That'd
servers.
be funny.
It would be funny if they somehow did that. That would be
Yo, and
so
then
so
Blizzard.
stupid.
Speaking of Blizzard again, I was playing Warzone 2 because it was free,
Hmm.
and they did proximity chat or something, which is
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious.
it's apparently like one of the funniest things. They had that I think in the original or something in the multiplayer. When you killed someone, you would hear their mic for 2 seconds.
Yeah, the death mic. Now it's just like if you're near them on the Warzone map, you can like have a conversation with them, and it's so funny. We were playing for a night, and Blizzard again fucked up. All of a sudden, I'm trying to play Warzone 2, and it's like you need to buy the game for this. It literally says free to play. I click it. I click queue up, and it takes me back to the main menu. It says you need to play. You need to buy it. Like a 3 hour fix for that.
Yeah, yeah, they have issues all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, too many. I mean, and that one's not even. I mean, for the other games we were talking about, they're Blizzard, like
yeah,
Blizzard.
yeah,
It's Activision Blizzard, but it's Blizzard games.
yeah,
Um, Call of Duty is definitely not. Totally different resources, totally different development team. So it's funny that they all just have issues. So
yeah,
it really does seem to be a common Activision theme. But I mean, Call of Duty, you can bet your ass they had enough server capacity.
yeah.
Like they weren't gonna let that happen to Call of Duty. It's like the biggest franchise in the whole world. So
We'll just
um
have to wait and see.
so yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this year they'll surprise you. You'll see no one's in a queue, and you can play day one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll definitely put the code in sometime today or tomorrow so that I can get my pre-order bonuses and stuff. But I literally have never played a WoW expansion on day one except for like I think Cataclysm back in college. I was playing with all my roommates and it was disastrous to even try and play back then. So I think I'll just be watching Twitch streams of the
Did
of
I
the game that
buy
day.
it? What's the expansion called?
Dragonflight. I got the physical collector's edition from the gear store. So I got a code that I need to put in. If you had already
Oh
bought it, it would have
shit!
been
I bought
activated
it.
already. Yeah.
Well, golly, look at that! I got the Epic edition for $90.
Yeah, so you got all the pre-order bonus stuff minus the
But
physical stuff.
WoW is on my H drive, which is the one that's currently exploding.
Yeah, well, it's huge also, so you can just move it. You'll have to move it and just let it install overnight or something to your new one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the only other thing that I was gonna end up talking about, but I don't think we have time, is the One Piece movie, One Piece film Red.
Oh,
So
I
we
mean,
can save that for the
I
next
mean,
pod.
we could talk a little bit. I liked it. You didn't.
Okay. No, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't think that it was as good as any of the other One Piece movies though.
Any is a crazy take.
Well, I haven't seen all of them. Any of the ones that I've seen. I've seen One Piece Gold. I've seen God, I've
Stampede.
seen 3. No, I didn't see
Stampede was
Stampede.
the second to last one. It was one before Red.
Yeah, I didn't see Stampede. I saw, I think the one
Z.
with Shiki the Lion or whatever.
Yeah.
Z. I think I saw. Yeah, I think Z. Was that Shiki the Lion?
No, that was something Strong World.
Strong World. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I've seen like those 3. The difference with this one is it really was not focused on the fights,
Yeah,
which
and that's
is
why I think
what I
I enjoyed it.
watch. This is what I watch an anime movie for. Is the
See,
fight? Imagine Dragon Ball Super Broly without the hour-long Broly fight. The
that's
whole movie
entirely
is a big
different
fight.
though. That's entirely different though. Broly's a
But
fucking Saiyan.
that's
This
what
girl's a little fucking twink.
she's shanked it. This is spoilers for it's still the spoiler is
Yeah.
still active. She's Shanks' daughter. She was on an
That
emperor's
doesn't
crew.
mean shit. She was a kid on the crew and then she left. She couldn't do hockey or anything.
Okay, fine. Fine. But when they do have the fights also, they stylized it so much I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. Like the end thing against like the demon lord of music or whatever. Like like they were turning people into like sound waves and things like that because of the music. I will say this, the number one thing that I liked about it, one, I love musicals. Like in
Yeah,
general.
the
Like
music
Disney
was good.
musicals,
Yeah,
like I love musicals. So I like the singing and I love the songs.
yeah, they were
Like
good.
I got goosebumps
Yeah,
listening to this
she can
like to
sing.
this
Whoever they hired for that,
yeah,
keep her
whoever's
going.
singing these songs, please sing more songs. Like just tons of them. Every song that's ever existed, just re-sing them. But I don't. It just didn't have like. It just didn't feel like I was as into it. I don't know. It's so hard to describe. It just. I sat there and I was underwhelmed.
I
Is
just
really what it
think
was.
I liked it because
I
it.
liked it. I just thought it was meh as far as a One Piece movie was concerned.
I think that the reason I liked it is because it wasn't the same thing as we've always seen. All the movies are like, oh, we got this villain, we're gonna lose against him the first time, we're gonna fight him again, we're gonna figure out something new about him. There's gonna be a new character only movie or new movie only character who's gonna teach us his backstory. Then we're gonna fight him again, we're gonna win. Every movie's like that
Hmm.
for One Piece.
I also
So it broke the mold, and I think I enjoyed it because of that.
I am fine with experimentation. I still haven't seen superhero, but you know it's CGI. They went with the CGI
It works with that
style,
one, yeah,
and it worked apparently. You know, I'm fine with experimentation, but this is a series that is literally all. I mean, it's all about like yeah, camaraderie, all these other themes and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're in Wano arc. There have been fights going on for the last like 100 episodes of this fucking anime. Like fights are a major key part of it, and it just and you know what? I think I'm just a little bit butthurt and bitter over the fact that this is called One Piece movie Red, and Shanks himself, current day Shanks, is barely in this fucking movie.
yeah. But
Barely in this
they
fucking
gotta
movie.
do that because what are you gonna show like
Show
Shanks's
me
like ability
something
or
new.
something when with in a movie that's not canon?
Show me something new. Yeah, that's fine. They have the guy that can shoot laser beams out of his fucking
Which
mouth,
also
and
this is in my head canon. Until something directly opposes this, I don't care. This is in my personal head canon. I don't know where it would take place, but it's for me. I love that they
what?
showed Gear 5
Uh huh.
for a split second. That was cool because they also did that with Gear 2 apparently in a movie. I didn't know this, but in like movie 7 came out before Eni's Lobby and in the anime, and they showed Gear 2 in that, so I thought that was cool. I loved that Usopp did something for the first time in his life. And he tag teamed with his dad. That was cool.
I thought that was cool. I thought it was just like so. This movie elevated his observation hockey, and it's just not going to be present in the
Well, no, it's
in
gotta
the
be
manga
right.
and
Like
anime.
it's gotta be.
Not for a while. I mean, this is apparent. This definitely has to take place before Wano, right? I mean, they're talking about how
No,
Luffy is.
Jinbei's there. It has to take place after.
Yeah, but that's so weird because they say, "Well, that's the fifth emperor," about Luffy.
Yeah,
Someone in the crowd says that
instead of the fourth, whatever.
instead of being one of the actual official
Yeah,
emperors.
yeah.
So it
No,
seems like it takes
that's
place.
why it's not
So
canon
it
because
must take.
there's
Yeah, it must take place immediately after Wano, but right before like
the news
the
broke.
updated
Yeah,
stuff comes out or whatever,
even
right?
though it broke while they were on Wano.
Yeah, exactly. So like timeline, the timelines with movies and anime is always a little weird, but like I like that. But I mean, the way they tried to match up certain people. But I mean, give me some kind of information about some of these fucking crew members. To be honest, at least like I mean, a handful of them. Maybe not Shanks himself directly, but his fucking first mate, who's
Yeah,
gonna who you know who's the Zoro equivalent. Who even is that character?
no idea, but he's a
No
badass.
one knows who the fuck he is, man. If you're gonna
Bexman.
make a movie about his fucking crew, give me a little bit more than this girl who's not in his fucking crew anymore. Like,
That's true.
ah, I'm being heated. It's that was my biggest problem with the movie. It really was.
But I mean, you can make the
Like,
argument the movie's not about Shanks. He's on
obviously
the
it's not about
poster.
Shanks.
Yeah,
He's just yeah, it's just called Red Hair Shanks,
yeah,
and it's
and
just
red. She has half red hair.
yeah, which made me think it was biological, and she wasn't. I was very upset by that actually.
No, I think that's the only way that I would have accepted this movie being not canon is if she was adopted. Because you're telling me that she's been in the universe the whole time and no one's ever fucking brought her up.
Yeah, no one's used her against Shanks and stuff,
Yeah,
right? But I mean, also this fucking devil fruit, this godly devil fruit, the Sing Sing
yeah.
fruit. like that the world government is like terrified of, and they all knew not to play the TVs with sound and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but they
I
didn't
mean, the
warn
world
anyone.
government knows fucking like everything, though. To be fair.
They must have, yeah, but they must have known that this fruit existed, and they must have known who had it, and they must have known that they should not let the 90% of the population of the planet listen with sound and stuff. Like, there should have been like a PBA, you
Yeah.
know, like, or an APB, all points bulletin, every single government controlled island. Don't use sound on this fucking concert. Believe us, or you're gonna die, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's like, it's all like suspension of disbelief
And I had these
stuff about
bitches
the
behind me
universe,
in
I
the
guess.
movie who kept fucking talking. I was so close to telling them to shut the fuck up. I was so mad.
Oh, that happened to me during Black Panther. There was a group of like literally the whole row in front of me was high school kids. And at one point, one of them got up and like tripped, and they wouldn't shut up about it. And then I had these like four high school girls next to me, and the high school girls like were getting so pissed. And then like one of them basically like she went Shh, like
Damn.
at them. Oh, I'm sorry,
Damn.
Kira. Kira,
Look
Kira,
at
Kira. It's
that.
okay.
Look at
It's okay,
that.
Kira. Come here.
Come
Okay.
on.
So she did that, and then they all started laughing, but they all shut up. So I was
Damn.
like, I wonder if they know who this girl is, and she can totally kick their ass or something.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Whatever. I'll go get her in a sec. We're about to end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had that same experience with Black Panther, and I was like, I was ready to just stand up and dump my iced tea on the kid that was talking. Like, I'm not even kidding. I don't care. Like, I hate when people are, and I mean, and one of the kids was just literally on his phone every 2 seconds. The row in
Oh
front of
yeah.
me, so just
Kid,
flashing
what
his
the fuck are
phone,
you? What the
looking at
fuck are you
stuff.
doing? Why are you in the movie theater? Watch it at
Why?
home.
Why did you even come to the fucking movies if you were so? It's so important that you check your fucking text messages.
I'm with
Like,
you.
come on. I was ready. I wanted to throw so many things at these kids. I wanted to dump like my iced tea on them. Like, if they didn't shut up after this girl shushed them, I'm pretty sure I would have just chucked my iced tea, like just up in the air and let it explode on all of them. They wouldn't have known it was me.
Well, the people next to you would have known it was you,
Yeah. So what?
and behind you.
So
And
what?
when he says who throw that, no one's gonna take the fall for you because they don't know you.
No one's gonna care about this like 14-year-old kid asking who threw that. Also, if the 14-year-old kid came up to me, even with all his friends, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to handle a couple of them probably, just
Yeah.
on the sheer fact that I'm fatter than all of them. Like, I would just bounce them away with my stomach or something. Like, I wouldn't have been intimidated by any of these kids.
Yeah.
So I was more than happy to ruin one of their like designer sweatshirts.
That would have been funny. Probably would have gone viral.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the kid was probably recording it the whole time while he was on his text messages. Probably had his camera open too. But now we're super long episode. So
Yeah. Hour 40.
yeah,
So I guess that's gonna do it for today. Thanks everyone for watching on YouTube, listening, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. I don't know where we are. We need to fix Apple Podcasts, I think.
yeah, we need to fix a couple of places. Also, if you're watching somewhere where there's comments, feel free to like anything that we said, agree, disagree.
Chime in, yeah.
Uh, let us know.
Maybe
Let
if
us
there's
know.
a big opinion that we disagree with or something, we'll call you out in the next episode.
Yeah,
We'll record
we'll have
that
an
in 5 months.
active discussion.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're gonna do this way more regularly.
Yeah. Listen,
I'll slap you through the internet.
I'm good now. I wasn't good. My hard drive was breaking. Had no. My dog's barking. Whatever. We're good now. More regularly.
We had a couple of things come up. I mean, summer travel and stuff. We talked about that in the last one. That was like a big thing. Then you had computer issues.
Yeah.
You know, I've had Karina having a bum ankle, taking care of her,
Yeah.
and then trying to stream whatever free time I did have. So it's been hard to align, but
We're good
we should
now.
both be much better now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll figure out the Apple. It's Apple, Stitcher, and
Yeah.
one other place I think where our podcast like still isn't working through Anchor and stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll take a look and figure it all out.
But alas, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. You didn't hear it here first. You didn't hear it here last. You heard it here. Dot dot dot.
Eventually.
There you go.